Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tom Fitton.
It's a big crowd. I'm not here to act. The play's after me, everyone. Well, thank you. It's great to be back here at CPAC. Judicial Watch, as you know, is your watchdog in Washington. And I'm here to remind you that transparency in government is essential to draining the swamp. That is why we're doing that every day, exposing the deep state, their allies, and the corrupt liberal media that enables them. As you know, the Republic is under assault. You can see this through the continuing lawless attacks on President Trump. Now, for almost 4 years, we've been busy uncovering the truth about the widest and most destructive corruption scandal in American history, the deep state coup against President Trump. The coup began as an attempt by high-ranking members of the Obama administration to rig the 2016 election in favor of Hillary Clinton. Failing that, and it did fail, it developed into a full-blown effort to overthrow a legitimately elected president of the United States. Comey spied on Trump with Obama's approval, and the deep state coup plotters in the DOJ and FBI, believe it or not, talked of wearing wires and invoking the 25th Amendment to remove the president from office. Sounds like a seditious conspiracy to me, does it to you? Then, after Robert Mueller's special counsel partisans failed to deliver the goods, the coup cabal, led by Adam Schiff, abused whistleblower laws in one of the gravest abuses of Congress ever. President Trump supposedly was impeached forever, as Nancy Pelosi so childishly put it, but he was also acquitted forever by the United States Senate. The mainstream media won't use the word coup to describe these continuing plots against the president, but that's what it is. And I'm using the present tense because despite a few setbacks, the coup continues to this day. You know what? I don't know about you, but I have little interest in moving on from the coup attack on our president, our Constitution, and our right to select our own leaders. Do you want the Vindmans of the world selecting your president, or do you want to? Of course, the presidential harassment will continue, and I suspect we won't be seeing an October surprise. There'll be a September surprise, summer surprises, probably something next week too, maybe even today. The biggest enemy of the coup plotters, of course, is the truth. That's why they're vigorously fighting us in court now. But, you know, despite the best efforts to cover up, the truth is coming out. And of course, in a sane world, the whole Obama-Clinton deep state gang would be worried about prosecution and accountability. And who do I mean? I mean Obama, Clinton, Brennan, Clapper, both the Bidens. Maybe there's a third one there. Rice, Comey, McCabe, Kerry, Bruce Orr, and of course Nellie, the Fusion GPS crowd, and of course Strzok and Page, the two FBI officials whose texts that you'll see dramatized here in a few minutes expose the true motives behind the attacks on Trump. By the way, you know, you heard me right. I did say Obama. Obama knew. He knew. You know, frankly, if we're going to be impeaching presidents, then we should impeach Obama. It isn't too late. You know, let's stop trying to provide cover for Schiff's leaker. I worked with whistleblowers. I know whistleblowers. Whistleblowers were friends of mine. Hey, Schiff, you anti-Trump leaker, you're no whistleblower. And thankfully, there's the heavy lifting by Judicial Watch to expose this abuse of the president. Who needs an IG when you have Judicial Watch? We exposed that the FBI, in a joint operation with the Clinton campaign, paid the foreign spy Steele for dirt on Trump. That's right, your tax dollars helped pay for Hillary Clinton's foreign spy to target President Trump. We also exposed the FISA warrant fraud and the fact that the FISA court did not hold one darn hearing on the spy warrants targeting candidate Trump and then President Trump. And then there's the exposure of Bruce and Nellie Orr, who was funneling misinformation into the DOJ and FBI in order to try to destroy Trump. You know what? Bruce Orr we exposed he got $28,000 bonus in the middle of Russiagate, and then gets a raise after he is removed for improperly colluding with Clinton spy Christopher Steele to get Trump. Can you believe it? Why is Orr still at the Justice Department? I don't know. We'll have to ask Attorney General Barr that. Is he speaking? I tell you what, the best FISA reform, they're talking about reforming FISA, would be to prosecute those who illegally spied on President Trump and Lord knows who else. Forget about reforming FISA. We need to prosecute the SpyGate ring and put him in jail. But unfortunately, the Justice Department has been frozen when it comes to prosecuting the real bad guys. Comey got a pass, McCabe got a pass, and there's no evidence, frankly, of major prosecutions against any of the other significant players. Worse yet, the Justice Department is still protecting Hillary Clinton as Judicial Watch forces out even more emails and more evidence of criminal conduct. By the way, the statute of limitations has not run on Hillary Clinton. You know what? I have a little compromise to offer here. Perhaps President Trump can stop tweeting when the Justice Department starts prosecuting. But in the meantime, the president ought to start pardoning Flynn, Stone, Manafort, and other Americans caught up in the abusive Mueller machine. The craven left is not just attacking our republic through its assault on President Trump. Our republic is also facing a continuing challenge from border security. Borders are critical to our country. They protect us and keep us safe, defines us as a nation. And you can see with the coronavirus, secure borders also protect the public health. We all know that, but of course the Open Borders activists encouraged, aided, and funded mass caravans that further stressed our southern border. President Trump has taken strong action to control the assault on our sovereignty, but he's faced dishonest opposition from anti-Trump activist judges and sanctuary politicians who place politics over the public safety. How do you like this for an idea for immigration reform? Enforce the law. Most everyone here illegally should go home. Instead, though, we have sanctuary cities and states where police and other officials are told not to cooperate with federal law enforcement trying to enforce the law. These sanctuary policies are illegal and dangerous. In fact, they're often deadly. And Judicial Watch, of course, is stepping up. We're suing in California, focusing on San Francisco's illegal alien sanctuary policy. And I was glad to hear that Attorney General Barr recently announced potential criminal investigations of the sanctuary politicians that aid and abet illegal aliens and abuse their offices to protect criminal aliens. Now, that would be great for border security, put those sanctuary politicians in jail for obstructing the law. Brings us to the next assault on our republic, our elections. We have tens of millions of legal and illegal aliens present in the United States, and we're expected to believe none of them vote. Do you buy that? No. Simply put, this and other attacks on unclean elections highlight how our republic is also under assault at the ballot box. Judicial Watch has a massive project to force states and counties across the nation to do the basics and clean up their voter rolls. The Justice Department should be doing this, but is largely AWOL, and so we have to do the hard work because dirty election rolls can mean dirty elections. We just found, we did a study last year, there are at least 2.5 million extra names on the voting rolls. Believe it or not, that's the good news. Because our prior analysis found there are 3.5 million extra names in the voting rolls. So our pressure and lawsuits are working. In Los Angeles County, our big federal lawsuit resulted in a settlement agreement, yes, with Los Angeles County, requiring the county to remove as many as 1.6 million inactive voters over the next few years. But we're not stopping there, of course. We're relentless, and we sent warnings just recently to counties in 5 different states: North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Colorado, and of course, again, California, telling them to take reasonable steps to clean their rolls or face lawsuits again from your friendly neighborhood Judicial Watch. And let me ask you this: why would the left so reflexively oppose clean election rolls, voter ID, citizenship verification for voting, and promote dangerous practices like ballot harvesting? I think it's because they want to be able to steal elections when necessary. The Soros-funded left has hundreds of groups attacking clean elections and voter ID, and now even the Electoral College. And on the other side is just little old Judicial Watch or 1 or 2 other groups. As I say, we're happy to do the heavy lifting, but we all have to realize that all our debates about taxes and abortion and health care don't mean a lick if the left can steal our elections to maintain and expand power. Never before in our nation's history have we seen such a sustained attack on our Republican form of government. The seditious conspiracy, as I say, continues. Of course, the past few weeks saw more illegal leaks on Russia again to smear President Trump, and yes, even Bernie Sanders. Frankly, both Trump and Sanders, ironically, are crime victims of the desperate deep state. Maybe they can sue together. And the assault on our borders continue. Rising leftists openly call for open borders and seek to erase the distinction between citizens and non-citizens. I tell you what, if you erase our borders, you erase our country. And now voter fraud, of course, from our perspective, that's the real civil rights issue of our time. Who stands for the civil rights of voters whose votes are stolen? The left would pretend voter fraud is no big deal. You know what, but how many votes do you think are too many if they're fraudulent? In this era of close elections, even one fraudulent vote is too many. You know, in too many ways, our republic is tottering. They try to overturn our elections, are trying to erase our borders, and are seeking to undermine our elections. What do? Judicial Watch has shown the way. Enforce the law. Try to put the kookaburra in jail. Dry up the swamp by bringing the sunlight of transparency. And I have some simple advice for the president: pardons, prosecutions, and transparency. And you know what? And I think he might want to give Attorney General Barr a hand by appointing specifically a special counsel. So I ask you to stand with us as we man that thin line protecting the rule of law and defending our Constitution from its enemies. And I can tell you that Judicial Watch is proud to represent you, to defend you, and to stand with you. Thank you, and God bless America. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.